Hey folks, doing something different today because something different just happened. I'm going to speak from the heart about something deeply personal. I have two brothers, one 10 years older, the other 8 years older, and my eldest brother, Jim, was recently found dead in his home. My other brother went into the home, found him sitting there in his chair as if he had fallen asleep. Apparently had been sitting there for a while. Jim, when I was growing up, there was nobody that I wanted to be more like. He was extraordinary, larger than life. And I'm not about to go into cause of death, and I'm not seeking condolences or sympathies. I assume that I already have them from you, and I thank you. If you do wish to express condolences, just hit me up in private message. Jim was larger than life. Just grand. Anything he set his mind to, or practically anything he set his mind to, he did exceptionally well. Any dispute between any two people, if Jim was invited in, he'd find a resolution. He was witty. He was sharp as a tack, highly intelligent, charismatic, athletic, founded his own business, developed it, became a millionaire. Had a wonderful wife. 3 glorious sons. Many, many friends. Quite a rich legacy. When I was younger, I fabricated some arguments with him, picked some fights over nothing, and I regret this. But, man, I picked fights with everybody when I was younger. I was a mean person, caused a lot of conflict, hurt a lot of people. I regret those moments. I regret those moments with Jim. But through it all, Jim remained Jim. He remained rock solid. He remained the exceptional, larger-than-life human being. As the years went by, Jim changed. I don't mean to disparage him. He succumbed to a mental illness. Now, he had a compulsion for the liquor, as my dad did before him. It's well documented that the worst substance out there is alcohol. And yet, it's the one that's legal. There's also crazy in the still DNA. No doubt about that, and some of us use that for constructive purposes, as I'm doing now. Some of us used it for destructive purposes, as I used to. Jim was opposite of me in that regard. Eventually I got to the point where I was motivated to change, and I think Jim did too. He did die alone in his house, but I think that he found redemption. His craziest years he put behind him more than a year ago. Everyone can find redemption. Jim is at peace now, and I think that he absolutely put himself on the path toward that peace. Celebrate every Celebrate every moment of your life. We all have these bad times, and the bad times can last hours, days, weeks, months, years. But life is still worth celebrating, because life is always, you always have this possibility of redemption. You always have the possibility of overcoming and growing and becoming wiser and stronger. And every single person in your life, every single circumstance is there to make you wiser and stronger. That so many of us don't learn our lessons. Took me a long time, and I continue to learn. Jim was deep in the crazy for quite a while. That so many of us don't latch on to the ability and the opportunity to grow right here, right now, well, we lack the motivation. It's our responsibility, isn't it? It's our responsibility. So if I try to enlighten someone else, it's up to them to actually listen and apply it. But in the meantime, I continue to listen. I continue to dialogue. I continue to grow. I hope I'm not rambling here. My point is, embrace life. Embrace every moment. Be grateful for every moment, no matter what happens within, no matter what happens without. Because eventually, there is peace that is held out for you. There is redemption. There is grace. More than anything else, folks, I want you to love. I want you to love every moment you can. Grow every moment you can. Listen and be willing to speak and dialogue, which involves listening. And just love. For God's sake, love. So this is all I have to say. I'm about to click the end of this video. I wish you peace, and I'll see you next week.